Hi guys. It's been what? 6 years? 6 years. I know. I'm sorry. We're gonna get into some of that, not all of that. But for those of you who do not know, my name is Courtney. This is my channel. I started vlogging in college, but then addiction came into my life and everything spiraled out of control. So I stopped filming and editing because I could barely focus on college, let alone do something extra. So I thought we could do a little brief timeline of everything that has happened. Probably not going to go into too much detail, but if you have any questions or you want me to go into detail into any of this, I will try my best if I feel comfortable with it. So let's get started. When you guys met me, it was right around the time I got my wisdom teeth removed. And when I got them removed, the doctor sent me home with some pretty strong opiate painkillers. Well, addiction runs in my family, alcoholism and drug addiction. And I knew that, but addiction doesn't discriminate. So at first I was taking it as prescribed. And then I was like, what would happen if I take more? And then more. And then eventually they ran out and I had to go to other places to get what I was using. And it got scary for a while. I'm not even gonna lie to you. I was in places I shouldn't be, with people I shouldn't have been with, and I was ruining my life. Straight up ruining it. And I didn't know how to stop. And that was scary. In fact, my addiction almost led to me getting expelled from the college I was working at. We went on a school sanctioned trip and things were brought and used that weren't supposed to, and the school found out. So I agreed to do intensive outpatient programming. I did that for 10 weeks. And by that time, I had graduated when it ended. And I started using again once more because I thought, hey, I can manage it this time. And I don't have the university coming down on my ass. So everything's gonna be fine. Spoiler alert, it was not fine. I spent about a year and a half in and out of psych wards because I would do drugs, become psychotic. I would try to off myself. There's a lot of things, a lot of trauma surrounding that some of it I'm willing to talk about, other things I am not. But after spending about a year and a half in and out of psych wards, I did something in my therapist's office, almost died, and I was sent to rehab shortly after that. I spent 52 days in this rehab, and now I have over 3 years clean from opiates. And I'm very proud of myself for that, because I thought that was a habit I'd never be able to kick. So I did it, and I celebrate that every day. I'm also a mobility aid user, something that I'm still working on getting comfortable with because of people's comments. So if you would like a tour of all the things I have collected, let me know. Maybe we'll make somebody feel less alone. In the last few videos I posted, you also saw a white fluffy dog and a blonde cat. They both have crossed the rainbow bridges since then. Jackson, the cat, crossed the rainbow bridge about 2 years ago. He had a seizure and it killed him. And Gracie, the big white fluffy dog, would have been 12 this month, but last month she crossed the rainbow bridge. She lost the ability to walk. She was completely deaf. She stopped eating, and my parents made the ultimate decision that she was suffering too much and had to go. And both truly crushed me, but I like to tell myself they're not in pain and they're in a better place, because they both were old. They both were having issues, and it's unfair to keep an animal alive when they're in pain like that. I also started getting a lot of piercings and tattoos. If you want a tour, let me know. They're mostly on my arms and feet, and behind my ears. I'm still working up the courage to start my leg, and I also need the money to start my leg, but I want to finish the sleep first because it's a dedication memorial piece for my grandmother. But again, money. Also started writing a poetry book in the last 6 years. Most of the poems are there. I just need to edit heavily and finalize some things and figure out what order I want it to be before I reach out and try to find help publishing it or decide if I want to self-publish it. But the book is about addiction. The first half is about active addiction and things that happen in active addiction, but the second half is about recovery. And I had to put it on hold. About 10 months ago, I started dating a man, and in the beginning, it was a really good relationship, or I thought it was. But then the mask slipped, and things happened, things I'm not ready to talk about, and I started drinking again, heavily. I haven't drank since before I went to rehab the first time, but I'm talking, I was drinking a fifth of vodka all to myself at the end of this. Well, he chose to break up with me, and that was the most loving thing he could have done. And I went back to rehab for alcohol, and I'm proud to say I have a little over 30 days sober now. I only did 21 days this time, but I learned a lot. I got my butt in shape again. I started talking to my higher power. I'm doing what I'm supposed to do now. And so far it's working. And I know there's going to be bumps in the road. I know there are going to be really bad days, but we're doing it. We're doing it. And I'm so thankful that I'm doing it and that I'm not dead or I'm not in a psych ward or in a jail. So let's be thankful for the small things. Since getting out, I started reading again. I love coloring and I love to paint. I love to make things out of clay. So if you guys would like me to show you some of the stuff, or if you'd like to hang out with me while I color and craft, let me know. Maybe I can make a video or two. Obviously, so much more has happened in the 6-7 years since I've been gone, but these are the highlights. And if you have any questions, you can leave them in the comment box below. Thank you for watching, and I hope you enjoyed.